What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick, go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have a conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50. And I tell you this every time, folks. Send those emails into SmokeWorld50@gmail.com. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to Robin Blue from Blue SmokeATL, where she sells pokers for your cigars, because I smoke mine down to what I call the numbnicity, down to the nail. She has all kind of goodies. She's a beautiful young lady. Welcome aboard, Robin. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And I just love people that smoke down. I've never heard that word, but I'm going to have to steal that. I normally just hear smoke down to the nub, but I just love that word. But thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. So, okay, let's dive right into it. Okay, where are you from?
Well, I live in Atlanta. My dad was in the military, so I'm an Army brat. I've lived all over the world. I lived in Iran for 3 years. I lived in Germany for 8. I went to 4 different high schools, 4 different junior highs. So I'm a true Army brat.
Oh, look at you. Okay, so you're down at ATL.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're a cigar smoker. How long have you been smoking cigars?
Yes, I am a sister of the leaf. I've been smoking about 15 years. I started in the Caribbean on vacation with my brother. We just go down to the Caribbean and get cigars for so cheap. And, back then I was just smoking the cigarillos and really thought I was doing it. I'm like, I'm smoking! Yay! So, after realizing there's a lot more to that, my brother has really kind of been my mentor as it relates to smoking. He's taught me a lot about smoking. And so that's when I started. And then just, through the years, I've learned, a lot more about it. There's just so many different boutique brands out there. And, with the surgence of black brands and it's just a, exciting time for people who smoke. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Speaking of boutique brands, it's, like I said, there's so many cigars, millions of brands out here. If you ask me, you can get confused. So, do you have a go-to? What's your Maduro? You like a Connecticut? You like a full body? You like a medium? Talk to us. Tell us what you pairing with that cigar. I know you're drinking. Robin, I can tell you probably drinking right now.
I am guilty on the drinking. It is happy hour somewhere. So, yes, I am guilty. I'm drinking some Diplomatico rum. One of my IG followers sent it to me. Shout out to you. I won't name names. Yeah, but so I like a medium to full body, right on the edge, not medium and not true full body. I usually smoke a Maduro. My favorites, I have to be honest with you, those Cubans have been blowing me away. I mean, the Trinidad, even though it's more of a medium, has been blowing me away. I love an Andalusian Bull.
Oh, you breaking it down. Okay, you breaking things down. Like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love it. For an everyday sick, if you're just wanting to do something, I love, the Melanio. I love my father's, all of their brand. I like the EP Carrillo. So I smoke a lot of different brands. I just think it's a great opportunity to open up my palate. I smoked out, I think it's Valencia. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, that was amazing the other day.
Yeah. Very nice smoke.
So, yeah, I'm kind of open to, anything premium. I like to smoke, but I like it more on the full body side. I don't do flavored cigars. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just not a preference for that. I like the notes in it, but I don't like, whiskey and flavored or any of those kinds of things, or vanilla fused or anything like that. But I do enjoy a good smoke. And then I pair it with, I'm a vodka drinker. I'm a Grey Goose drinker from way back. But I started drinking a little bit of scotch. And I'll tell you, that scotch makes you do crazy things.
Hey, don't tell everybody your business now, Robin. Be careful. Now, people listening around the world, they may come knocking at the door like, where Robin at? Because we're going to get into where you smoking at down there, Robin. So where are you smoking at down at ATL? With the, with the COVID going on and everything, obviously a lot of restrictions have been on some of the lounges. So what's hot down in Atlanta? I know Atlanta has several lounges. So where are you smoking at, and what's some of the flavor looking like in Atlanta nowadays?
Well, we have over 130 places to smoke in Atlanta.
Oh, I'm jealous already.
That's
some BS right
crazy.
there. 130 places to smoke.
Yeah, 130. When I say places to smoke, I mean places where you can smoke. It might be a restaurant that has smoking outside, but we have over 130 places to smoke. So it is really crazy. I'm a member at Cigar City Club, which is in Sandy Springs, but I do frequent the Humidor. My pokers are at the Humidor. I frequent places like Cigarro, Asir. I mean, there's Fellowship. There is so many places that they're out there that just Burn by Rocky Patelis here in Atlanta. The patio. It just
I'm getting jealous already just thinking about all that.
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of smoke all over. I mean, because I sell pokers, I mean, I'm really trying to always, meet people where they are. So a lot of time I go to a lot of different lounges. But my preference is to go to a place that has outdoor patio because I love just the cool breeze and stuff like that. Right now it's wintertime. Obviously we don't have that. But, with COVID, Atlanta probably has a little bit more relaxed COVID guidelines than some of the places like California, so it's not as strict. But there are places, that you go to. Havana Lounge is another lounge as well in Atlanta, which is not far from my house. But, they'll have this 6 foot away from you. But the challenge is if somebody hasn't seen you in a while, they just run up to you, hey, Robin, how you doing? You can stop that. People are like, well, do they have COVID guidelines? Well, they do. But if your friend hasn't seen you, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't stop,
That's
Susie
true.
or Barry from running up to you, say, hey, what's up? So... they do what they can do. I mean, there's only so much you can do. So
Okay, are they limiting as far as seating capacity? Is it, a capacity on how many folks can actually get into the lounge nowadays down there, or are you guys kind of real relaxed and don't kind of have that CDC guideline going on down there?
It depends on where you go. There's some places that they do temperature checks. They do a great job at following the guidelines, and some places are more laxed. And I won't share, what I think about each, location, but I would say that Atlanta is probably a little bit more lax than some of the other places that I've been to.
Okay, so let's get into the main nitty gritty. You sell
Yes, let's do it.
cigar pokers. Now, explain that to
I
some
do.
people maybe listening, and there may be a few who don't know what that is. So, explain to the audience exactly what you have and how long you've been doing this.
So I make all the cigar pokers by hand. I design all of the concepts that I have. I have over 70 on my website. I'm actually launching a new collection next month, and so I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. That's going to be on Etsy, so you're the first one to know that. No one knows that just yet.
Exclusive
So
on
big
Smoke
news.
World.
Yeah, that's big news. No one knows that yet. So just did my photo shoot on Friday, so I'm super, super excited. And I'll have probably 40 to 50 brand new that no one has seen before that'll launch in Etsy in February. So what it is when you're, as you mentioned, smoking your cigar down to the nub, a lot of times you can burn your lips or burn your fingers. And so this particular tool, you actually poke your cigar toward the end so you don't burn your lips and your hands. Or you can use it as a draw poker if you have a cigar that's tight. And sometimes, one of my favorites is Edulus and Bull. Sometimes, they have an inconsistent smoke and you want to loosen up the tobacco leaf. So you use the end of the poker, nubber, stick or whatever you want to call it, because they call it a lot of different things, to be able to open it up. And so that's what they use it for.
Now, I've saw some of them folks. Now, again, folks who are listening, these pieces look like jewelry. I saw some of them. I'm like, wow, this is a nice poker. So you actually took some time and put some work into those. So your designs are your own, or are you partnered with anybody else?
I handmake. Yeah. No, I don't. No, I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning pretty much every night. So I design everything. They're handmade. They're like cigar jewelry, and they're like the Pandora of cigar jewelry. Now, what I mean by that is that you can have your poker customized for whatever you want. So if there's particular things that you like I just did some this morning for someone who's into fashion, does photography and stuff like that. So those are the things that you could add onto your poker depending on what you want to do. So they're customized, and they are absolutely stunning. So it's just, I'm very meticulous about what I do. I do give a guarantee on my pokers. If anything happens to them, I'll fix it or replace it. I do also, it comes with a blue velvet box, and it also comes with an alcohol swab so you can wipe your poker down, in COVID, or just because, your stuff needs to be wiped down periodically.
Definitely. I hope so.
I hope people are already doing that, but if they're not, it's in the bag, that I'm shipping to you. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, Robin. They not. I've seen people doing all kind of stuff in violation pre-COVID, so they still doing exact nasty stuff they was doing prior to COVID. And with COVID being here now, Robin, it's not a good look. I'm just gonna keep it real. Some people are just nasty, unfortunately. We love our brothers and sisters of the leaf, but hey, there is etiquette. You can't go licking cigars and asking for cutters. That's why you gotta have your own cutter, because
Oh
we
my
got
God.
some people who will
Woo,
stick the cigar in their
woo.
mouth, lick it up really good, and then look at you and say, "Hey,
Wow.
buddy, let me borrow your cutter." The answer would be
No.
negative. You don't get that.
Yeah, that's a
So,
lot.
yeah. But like I said, now these pokers, like I said, that's very. I'm glad you used the analogy about the Pandora. That definitely reminds me of something along those lines. Now, this is male and female because where I smoke at. I was kind of explaining this to you a little bit on through our prior conversation that they kind of look at you kind of strange when you pull out a poker that's a little too fancy. You get the side eye from the brothers. They're like, "Yo, my man, that's kind of pretty, dog. So what you doing with that?" So to eliminate that little bit of side eye, you do make some more masculine pokers, if I can use that word. Yes or no?
Yeah, I get, because I sell 70% to men, I get that, and that's my favorite customer. I love to hear people say that because, my brother is my advisor, so he really kind of looks at all of my, in the beginning, all of the male pokers, and I do male and unisex. So sometimes, women like skulls just like men do. So
Yeah, let's go right back to the as far as the masculinity. As far as you have some now, because I said if you look at these, it looks like pretty jewelry. But again, you do actually make custom pokers if interested. Someone can say, "Hey, I have a idea." Guess present that idea to you, and you can actually put that into a poker for them. So explain that. As far as the brothers is concerned, because some of the brothers of the leaf are a little shy. We just we stick with the wooden match and break the wooden match and stick it in our cigar. But now you don't need to do that based on
well,
your
I have
product.
heard the match. I've heard the corn on the cob little thing. I've heard a dart. I've heard a lot, since I've been doing this. And so I do make pokers to meet everybody where they are. I make very simplistic pokers that are made of wood for people who kind of, very much into the kind of natural stones. I make pokers that are very, blinged out for people who like bling. And I make everything in between. I have pokers with skulls on it. I have pokers with all kinds of things on it. So, and if for some reason I don't have a poker out of the 200 pokers that I have that doesn't fit your needs, then I can make a custom one for you. So custom works like this. Typically somebody will say, I want a poker that most men like black or black. No surprise. What color do you want? Black? Okay.
You don't say.
And I'm like, let me guess. You want a black poker? Okay, I gotcha. So then there'll be things like, I'm into, motorcycles, or I'm into this, or I'm into that, or like I had somebody who said I played football for this particular team, or so what are the things that they have going on? I had a person who was a plumber. I had a person who owned his own truck. So they want the things that are specific to them. And I say men because I sell 70% of my products to men, and so that's really my target audience and who I'm really creating my pokers for. Not that I don't sell to women, because I do, but that's just an easier transition for me because I'm a woman and making blinged out pokers, which a lot of women like, and some of them don't. Some of them like skulls and all kinds of, so people are just across the gambit. But if you said, hey, I wanted a custom poker, I would ask you what you like. Some people know exactly what they want. I want this, this, and that. And some people say, I don't know, but I want these elements. And so what I do is I create 2 prototypes, and then I send a video. Here's option 1, option 2. People say, oh, I love option 2. I want that. Or maybe they want a hybrid between the 2 of them to say, hey, you know what, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then I put back together another version. Usually that doesn't happen, I would say. Most time they fall in love with one of the 2 options because I've heard what they're looking for. So I've done enough of these pokers. I've done, oh, God, I can't even tell you how many I do pokers all the time. So just hearing what people are saying and understanding their style, a lot of times I'll go stalk their IG page and learn about them to really kind of understand what they're looking for. I just don't make pokers for people that I don't really know what they're talking about because I don't have time to waste. Time is money. So I try to nail it on the first time out. So, and then, I take every form of payment there is out there, and they just pay me. Actually, they pay me before usually they pay me before, and they say, I tell them how much it is based on what they want to do. Then I build it. And if for some reason they don't like it, I give them their money back. I mean, it's not that serious for me.
Okay, now I'm listening to this story, and I don't know if I answered this question already. As far as like, how did you even get into that? Are you a person crocheting? Like, what are you? How did you get into making pokers and putting all this stuff together? What was that concept?
It's a really interesting story. I'm a very creative person, so I sew, I do upholstery, I do all those kinds of things, and people kind of look at me like, wow, I just really wouldn't have got that. So I had some pokers before, and I like the concept because I like the fact that if you were smoking down to the nub, you don't have to burn your hands or your lips. So that concept always worked for me. But I wanted something more diverse for the community and for myself because, living all over the world, I had a lot of different influences. So I lived in Iran, which was around a lot of the different, Muslim things with, Buddha and all those other things. And have traveled so much that I just wanted pokers to represent my life and the things that I knew, regardless of whether I was Buddha or not, and I'm not, but I'm just saying just different influences I've seen in my life. And I just thought that I hadn't really seen that out there. I've seen it in the pokers, but I didn't see as much diversity in the pokers. A lot of them were kind of similar, and I didn't see as much customization. And so I just decided, this is the strangest story, I just decided one day, I said, God, I'm going to do pokers. And about 2 weeks later, I was in the poker business. So it was really kind of, it was kind of a strange one.
Okay, now, you say you've been around the world, Robin. Now, you sure now this ain't come from, smoking weed, and you say, I'm tired of burning my fingers with this weed. And you can tell us, Robin. We won't judge you. You can say, hey, I was in Jamaica smoking the ganja smoke, and it just kept burning my fingers. And I was like, oh, this is not going to work. I got my pretty nails done, and my lips is too sexy to have my lips all black and blue. I need a poker. You can tell us the truth, Robin. Is that really what happened? It's okay.
I really wish that was the story because it's more exciting than my actual story. But I will tell you, my pokers double for that purpose. People say, oh, no, I don't smoke cigars, but I can use it for this. I say, hey, listen, whatever you want to do, go for it. It's all good. I don't judge. Whatever. No, it was one of those things that I'm just a creative person, so creative things just come very easy to me. So doing stuff like that was just easy. And it was one of those things I said to my brother, I said, hey, I think I want to do it. He's like, yeah, I think you should. And the next thing I know, I think probably 2 weeks later, I had sold my first poker. So I was like,
and when was this? Okay, I think I saw online that you started in, 2019? So is that correct?
I started in November. Yeah, I started in November, went down to the Big Smoke in Vegas and brought some down. And it was interesting when I brought some down to Vegas, the women weren't really interested in it, but the men were. So I thought, I think you're my target audience. So, men, it was just men really from the beginning who really kind of embraced me. And so that's kind of the audience I went after. So nothing personal. I mean, women did too, but not as quickly as men did. And I think because the diversity of the pokers that I brought to them, I don't think men have a lot of options. I think a lot of times they're afraid, like, I don't want to have it look girly. I don't want any of that bling. I don't, and I'm like, I got it. It's okay. All right.
That's an important factor, Robin. You can't neglect. That is an important factor for a man. That if you're going to pull out a poker and it's all shiny, bling, bling, little jewels and diamonds, I don't know if it's going to be a good look. It's going to be some conversation in the lounge about that brother. Like, yo. And again, I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but just where I smoke at, I'm the guy who normally breaks the match, stick the match up in there, take it down to the numbnicity. This way you don't have to burn my lips because I need my lips. I don't want to be those guys, one of those smokers with the black lips. You don't want to be that guy or that girl. So it's important,
No, we don't want to see that. But I think, having my brother who is, my silent partner, even though, older brothers are never silent. But, I think he was really my test person because he is the type of person, when I first told him what I wanted to do, I told him I wanted to make pokers. I didn't tell him I wanted to make them for men. When I said that, he said, wait a minute, hold up. I don't think so. I was like, he shut it down. He was like, "No, I don't think so. Men are never going to buy this." And I said, "No, I think that no." So he was not on board in the beginning. He was like, "Mm-mm. No, I think you need to stick to women." I said, "No, I don't think so." So that took a hurdle to get over that, and that's my own brother. So I think when he saw them, he got it, but initially he was like, "Oh, man, no cigar smoking man would dare use one of those." And I was just like, "Thank you." Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for the
supposed to be
support.
giving me all the
Thank
comments.
you. Thanks for believing in your sister. Now,
So I felt like if I could get over my brother with that, I could probably sell it to anybody, because he was like, "No, I don't even discuss this. I don't want to talk. I will never." And I'm just like, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I appreciate some support." No, I'm not. I was like, "Wow." So I think that there's a certain group of people who are not going to use a poker. They're just not. They just want to touch and hold a cigar. I don't know. There's something with the connecting of the cigar and them. They just got to touch it.
yeah.
I get it.
But like I said, when that cigar is really good, like I said, this poker does come in handy. If you got that good cigar, and you want to, not everybody smokes their cigars down to the numbnicity. We understand that. But the ones who do every now and then, they have a great cigar. Their experience is, "Oh man, this is an awesome cigar. I'm smoking this baby down to the numbnicity." And at the end of the day, it's kind of hard sometimes to get to that point where you kind of burning your lips and burning your fingers and you're dropping the cigar. It's a done deal. So this tool will come in handy for that occasion where you got that great cigar. So you keep this in your cigar case. Hey, you know what? I got my tool. I can smoke this baby all the way down to the numbnicity.
Well, not only that, but some cigars are tight. Like if they're hand rolled, sometimes they're tight, or some brands, depending on what your humidor is on, they're just tight in general. And so it could be a draw poker to open it up. So it's really a 2-for-1. If it gets down to the nub or if it's tight. I've smoked some cigars and just like working too hard. You're like, my goodness.
That's true. That's
That's
very true. It's like you got a Frosty from Wendy's. You're trying to suck a Frosty from Wendy's through a straw. That's just not going to happen. You need that spoon. So, okay, that's very true. So your poker is a 2-for-1. So you can open up that cigar, and get some air in there. It's too tight. Okay, so that's great. That's a great thing. So, folks, if you're listening again, it's a 2-for-1. It's a great looking tool. You don't have to burn your lips whether you're smoking weed. We ain't judging you. Whatever you smoking.
No,
hey,
I'm an equal opportunity poker, maker. I don't care what you use it for. It's all good. Some people want it as collectors. I've had people just say, I don't want to touch it. I just want to put it up here. And I've said, hey, it's okay. It's all good. Whatever you want to do with it. I'm on board. I'm here to support you.
Now, if there's a cigar brick and mortar place listening right now, and they're interested in maybe purchasing some of your cigar and maybe carrying your brand, how would they go about contacting you to do that? And if they even, can we even do that? Number one, could that be possible? If someone says, you know what, Stone showed me this lovely poker. I'm down with this. I want to sell this product in my cigar shop. How would they be able to do that? Number one. And number two, how would they be able to contact you?
So, yes, they'd be able to do that. They can contact me through, Blue SmokeATL through my DM. They can email me at robinblue at yahoo.com. They can yell loud, whatever they need to do. I do
smoke signals.
Great. So I do have my pokers at Sugar Daddy's in Vegas. I do have them at the Humidor in Atlanta. I do have them at Asir here in Atlanta. I'm working on a place in Houston. So I definitely love, retail establishments. If you're interested in having some of my pokers, I can make some custom ones just for your lounge. I do have them at Smokey D's, who has a mobile cigar lounge. I've got them at another mobile cigar lounge in North Carolina. So I do have quite a few retail locations that have my pokers now.
Okay, so good stuff. So you folks, if you're listening, again, give them your social media again. You got Facebook?
Everything is Blue SmokeATL. I just make it easy for every single thing.
Okay, so Instagram, Facebook, Blue SmokeATL.
Yep.
Oh, man. All
Blue
right.
SmokeATL.
I do have
my website is BlueSmokeATL.com. So everything is Blue SmokeATL.
Okay, you made it real easy. Now, you mentioned that you have them in some different places. So are you able to go to some of these events and promote your brand and promote the poker And I guess right now with the COVID, it's not too much jumping off. Or how is that working out at this point in time?
Well, I'm actually going to a place tonight to support. They just got my pokers on Tuesday. That place is called Sear, and that's an Austell here in Atlanta. And so, yeah, I mean, they're just going to manage how many people come in. So I'm just going to help him promote the pokers tonight. And so typically what I do is when you do buy my pokers, I really want to go in there, support you. I go talking to people about the pokers actually in your establishment so they understand what's going on, so they're aware that they are. So you're part of the family. I come visit that location and make sure the pokers are moving, people understand them, because sometimes when they're in the case, people may not know what they are. They may not know that they're there. And so, it's part of my job, when I can do that, is put you on my social media as well as come and support you and by helping sell the pokers. So that's something I'm going to be doing tonight.
Okay. Speaking of, so I guess once this COVID is over, will you be able to come and visit multiple states? Because we're going to put you on the map. We need you to go different places and to promote your poker. So will you be able to do that? Or is that part of the plan already?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm an ambassador for Atlanta Cigar Week here in Atlanta. And so, as soon as COVID is over, I definitely want to go to select locations who want to support me. So if there's somebody that wants me to come down and they have enough people coming to an event, that's something that I'd like to go to, as long as either COVID has reduced or they have some strong COVID guidelines. I would love to come. There's some markets that I've got my eyes on. So if that's you, shout out to Blue SmokeATL in the building.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, so I'd love to do that. This COVID thing, it's surprising to me. I had some custom masks made last year, and I didn't realize I would still be using these masks like a year later. I'm just like, when I had them made, I thought, this is kind of a novelty. They're custom. A year later, I'm like clutching onto these masks because I'm thinking, wow, are we going to still be using these in 2021?
Yeah, maybe 2022, maybe. Don't know.
I know, with these different strains coming out. So
yeah, we don't know.
But I do a lot of things online. So I will try to do as much as I can with COVID. I'm not going to let COVID shut me down completely. But again, I won't be traveling like I would if COVID is not happening. I mean, I will definitely use some guidelines, and because I don't want anything happening to me or my customers, and so that's just not something I'm interested in doing.
Right. That's just, like I said, you got to play it smart. So you got to play it smart. Well, is there anything else that maybe we didn't cover that you wanted to mention to the folks to let them know?
I just want everybody to stay safe, to keep it smoky, and to just really, try to enjoy what, the things that they're doing. We have so much strangeness going on right now that I do want people to get a little joy out of it. And if one of those things happens to be to buy a poker, I'm not going to be mad at you.
There you go.
So, hey.
There you go. Well, there you go. There you go. Blue SmokeATL, Robin Blue.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being a guest on Smoke World. We appreciate you stopping by to share your product. Folks, like I said, go check her out. Very easy. Blue SmokeATL on social media. It's a lovely, lovely item. You can smoke your... We ain't gonna go, like I said, we're not going to judge you. You want to smoke weed? That's fine. Smoke your weed. If you're smoking your cigar, smoke your cigar. Again, it's a 2-for-1 on the cigar side. On the weed, I don't know about the 2-for-1. I don't know. I'm just going to say I don't know.
You're going to care if it's 2-for-1 on the weed side.
I don't know. I'm just going to leave that alone. We don't judge. We do not judge.
Right.
We do not judge. Well, thank you for being a guest. I appreciate you stopping by, talking to us, to share your lovely product. Again, folks, you heard it here first. She's got a new brand of stuff coming out. It's an exclusive brand. She can hook you up. It's personal, whatever way you want it. She can take care of you. Well, thanks for stopping by.
It's a shop that'll be happening in February. And if you see somebody wearing blue, it could be me.
Hey. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of Smoke World in the books. Robin, we thank you for stopping by, sharing your lovely product with us, and we should talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, take care. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of Smoke World in the books. I want to thank Robin Blue from Blue SmokeATL for stopping by. Go check out the product. It's hot. Fellas, nobody's going to judge you. Women, it's gorgeous. Again, follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50. Send those emails into SmokeWorld50@gmail.com. Again, we're going to be giving out some prizes. I'm going to be in conjunction with Drunk Chicken Cigars. We got some good stuff coming to you, folks, so pay attention. Check out the social media. Follow us along and see if you can win that prize. Again, folks, you take care of yourself, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.